Great to hear. Because I'll be doing it this entire show.
I'm good with it.
What about the Bane voice?
He's not here. He's too busy.
Can we have Sam Raimi as Bane?
Oh, there you go. That's a good one.
Oh, yes. Mr. Wayne. I hope you're interested in watching the Hollywood Awards tonight.
It's so worth it.
Hollywood Awards.
Personally, I have my vote in for my directorial debut. Look out for water. It makes crazy shapes. Starring Bruce Willis as the creature from the Blue Lagoon.
Okay.
I love it.
There you go.
It just never ever. I don't know why. 'Cause I just, I'm going to be totally fair to you.
Yeah.
You irritate the shit out of me most of the time.
Thank you.
But
To be fair,
on target.
I can't get enough of this.
Oh, I love it. Even the coldest hearts can be melted.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, man.
Hello and welcome to episode 591 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, March 6th, 2018. I'm your host, Chris Johnston. With me, as always, from Canada, Mr. Greg Seward.
Hello, hello.
How you doing?
I got nothing to say. I just want to say hello.
Got nothing
Good.
to say?
I'm good.
Yeah.
The Sega shelf's still sitting in limbo back there.
It's giving off a blue light.
Yeah, an icy blue Sega light.
Pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got the rest of the lighting, and I've got a bunch of other stands on the way. It should be completed in like a week.
Cool. And joining me from the great state of Washington, Mr. Phil Theobald.
Hello there, everybody. How are you doing?
Sam Raimi, what a surprise that you would join us on this
live from the Hollywood Awards.
The night of the Hollywood Awards.
Yes, indeed. Everyone's lined up to pick up their awards for excellence in the art of filmmaking. Personally, I'm here to get the reward for my directorial debut. Get out of my house, monsters!
All right.
It's the latest. It's my latest blockbuster film achievement. I'm very excited.
Does it have anybody playing two characters in the movie?
Bruce Willis is in a stunning dual role as Key and Peele as he looks out for the monsters who want to get out and get into mayhem.
Yeah.
Exactly.
From Beyond the Moon?
Yes. My other directorial debut is nominated as well. It's the World War epic. You're done, Kirk. Bruce Campbell as Christopher Pine, playing William Shatner, playing James Toblerone Kirk from the 51st Intergalactic Brigade.
Uh-huh. All right.
It's bound to be a spectacle. You'll pay for the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge. At the Hollywood Awards tonight.
Oh, well, then.
Join me on the red carpet, won't you?
Speaking of being on the edge of your seat.
Yes.
Microsoft added
Let me make a note. If you're going to be on the edge of your seat, don't be on the edge of your toilet seat because poop will get everywhere.
All right.
What?
Yikes.
Not going with you on the poop jokes.
Yikes.
A bridge too far?
Yep. That's the line.
Okay.
So Microsoft added some new titles to backwards compatibility. And
I heard about that.
Fable Anniversary, The Witcher 2, Crackdown, and Forza Horizon. Now,
wait. Did someone say Crackdown?
These have something special to them as well. They are all extra enhanced for Xbox One X.
Oh my goodness.
Hey,
that's right.
Speaking of Xbox One X, I hear we've got the Xbox One X quotient of the Player One podcast has gone up by 100% this week.
It has.
Yeah.
Who got an Xbox One X?
I don't know who.
I
saw somebody getting some achievements in Cuphead.
I didn't get no Xbox One X.
Oh, did you just get an S?
I just got an S.
Oh, okay.
I'm not.
Sorry, I was excited.
Look, I'll pay $300 to play Crackdown again. I'm not going to pay $500. That's madness.
It was so weird because I was playing Burnout 3 for the
the good Burnout
back in my
good one. Yeah,
bit of back in my play, and while I was playing, Whimsical Phil came online.
That's
and I
weird.
think it's the first time I've seen that happen in 10
years.
It's been quite some time. I was stunned that I remembered my Xbox password.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
When it first hit me, I was like, "Hey, Phil's online," and then it was like, "Hey, Phil's online." What's the last sign in?
And he still has a higher gamer score than I do.
Do I really?
You do. You do.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Must have been that Avatar
for me.
That last Airbender pushed me over the top. Still.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, tell us the details. What pushed you over?
Well, I recently came into some money.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Family member died?
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. Bequeathed me his Game Boy Advance collection. And which I promptly sold. Yeah. So I suddenly had a lot of money, and suddenly Crackdown is backwards compatible.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, okay, I'll buy one. Because you guys are talking about Super Thieves. What's it called?
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves.
That's
Sea
the
of
one.
Thieves.
Yeah.
You guys have been talking about that. That sounds like a lot of fun.
It is a good time. Yes.
And Crackdown 3 allegedly is on its way. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Allegedly.
Let's say that it is. But suddenly Crackdown is backwards compatible. And so I figured, the cost of an Xbox One S is a fraction of what I made
True.
from dumping my collection. So why not? So I did. I did not buy an X just because I don't have a 4K TV, and I'm not going to go spend my I'm going to be a little more responsible with my newfound wealth.
Yeah.
I quit my job, by the way. I don't know if I told you that.
No.
With the money that you came into, you were able to.
Yeah, I retired early. Ninja 5.0, it turns out, is worth
just that one game.
Just that one game. I had the box.
No,
and the instruction manual. So that's,
that makes it even better.
No, so I was just like, I'm not going to go buy a 4K TV and the extra couple $100, for performance enhancements or whatever. I was like, I don't need that. So I just went out and bought a 4 or a 1S.
Yeah.
And I got the
you bought the Minecraft one.
I bought the cute the Target near me had one.
Did you have to look online with the stock checker, or was it actually in the display case? Because I have not seen a Minecraft Xbox One S for quite some time.
Well, you know what? I went to because that's a Target exclusive. So I went to Target's website, and you can still order it off their website, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
But as I was looking on their website, it said, it's available for in-store pickup at the local Target. So I drove over there, and they did not have it in their display case, but I tracked down an employee and
they got it for you.
And said, hey, you have this. And it turns out they did have one sitting in the back room. So they they pulled it out for me. So
cool.
So I got the cute Minecraft Xbox
Did you
One.
Also get the pig controller? Because that was on sale at Amazon.
It comes with the creeper controller.
Yeah, my
so
kids want that big controller.
Yeah,
it was on sale quite recently.
I did not invest in a second controller.
Okay.
So that's a cute little system, though. I love the because it looks like a little grass block.
Yeah.
You know what's super cute, and I didn't know about this. On the back of the system, or the bottom of it, depending on if you are displaying it horizontally or vertically, the bottom, the base of it is clear. It is in.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's in clear plastic, and it has painted on it some of the redstone, because in the Minecraft game, you can mine a substance called redstone.
Okay.
And you can process that to make what is essentially circuitry in the Minecraft world. So you can have you can step on levers to open doors or move switches and things like that. So the bottom of it has some redstone circuitry painted on the bottom, but then once it goes over kind of the clear area, the redstone pattern is actually painted on the metal plate inside the system. So it looks like the redstone circuitry is kind of looping around the back of the system, but then going inside the machine.
That's pretty great.
That's cool.
Well.
It's a nice detail that, like, seriously, when would you ever know that?
Well, that's just it. Yeah. So it's super cute. So I was very impressed with that.
And the S looks so much better than the original Xbox One.
Yeah.
Well,
but yeah,
cool.
so I picked that up. It came with Minecraft, of course, but then I also picked up. I bought Cuphead, of course, because Cuphead is great. And I ordered, and they actually arrived the other day. I got a Rare Replay.
Excellent.
You'll have a good time with that.
Yeah, well, you know what? I busted it out, and I forgot how many games are on that.
A ton.
I mean, that's got a crap ton of games, and I paid maybe $15 most.
Yeah, it dropped in price quick.
Yeah, and it's got a ton of games on there, and I'm no Rare fan.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's got like the Banjo games, which I'm not particularly fond of, and it's got like Conquer, which I'm not really into. But it's, I mean, you got a bunch of a bunch of the NES games.
Yep.
Which still blows my mind that those NES games are on that collection, especially the ones that were because the ones that were published by Nintendo.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess Rare.
No anticipation though.
No anticipation.
I wonder though, like, I mean, you know, I don't know what Nintendo's licensing agreements were like back in the day. I mean, they may have let Rare keep the rights to all that stuff.
Yeah,
right?
it was like the RC Pro-Am games and Slalom. You know, those were
right.
Who published Snake Rattle and Roll?
Nintendo.
Was that a Nintendo game?
Okay.
Okay. No, that was Nintendo.
Okay. Yeah, so you got all those games on there, and Blast Corps, which I busted up Blast Corps and was playing that because that was one of my favorite games on the N64. Yeah. I just played the first mission, and I was nervous going back to it.
Right.
You know, thinking that perhaps my fond memories of this game would be ruined. It's still a pretty fun little game.
Yeah, it is. I had never played it before Rare Replay, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's a fun game. And got Sunset Overdrive as well.
The Rare Replay, I have to say, and I'm kind of with you, Phil. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Rare in general. They've done some stuff I've really enjoyed. I mean, great to have the RC Pro-Am games on there because they were like the first RC Pro-Am was my favorite games of all time when I was a kid, and never really played the second one, so it's cool to have it there. Yeah. But I really love the way they did that. I would love to see more collections of sort of older companies that go through that, because they cut a large swath through the timeline there. Like you're back on like Spectrum games, basically.
Oh yeah,
all the way through up until pretty recent stuff. It was great. It's sort of a, you know, even if there's not a ton of games on there that I would definitely play through, it's really nice to sort of have that history on one disc.
Well, and they also have the various interviews with people who were there and behind the scenes stuff.
Oh yeah,
I was really happy with that collection.
Yeah. You should definitely watch the Battletoads arcade behind the scenes, because it's just funny.
Okay. I will do that.
Yeah.
Well, I pre-ordered Sea of Thieves.
Nice.
Yes, I pre-ordered Sea of Thieves.
We are going to be playing Sea of Thieves together, I'm sure, one of these days, and we will stream it. And it'll be
it
fun.
does not. It didn't. I guess I'm too late for the beta, or CJ was saying like they're just doing like weekend stress tests or something at this point.
Yeah, scale tests.
I think there's like a closed beta that's still happening.
Okay.
They'll probably do an open beta next week or the week after.
Okay.
Well, we're at GDC, most likely.
Oh, yeah.
Although it comes out the week we're at GDC.
Oh, right.
So, yes, indeed. Well, so they added all that backwards compatibility stuff, and there's a new feature on the X. Not only does it make these games 4K, but you can also go into a new setting within the Xbox 360 dashboard on the X that allows you to toggle between graphics and performance.
Oh, interesting.
Which is kind of nice. Although it seems like some of these games were locked to 30 frames a second anyway. So even with the performance checkbox, the frame rate doesn't get any better. But there's some comparison shots. Forza Horizon, it looks really, really good.
Yeah, it makes me a little bit jealous. I'm not going out and buying an X anytime soon. Although I do know that it would look better even on my 1080p television. But
sure,
right?
Yeah,
I'm not spending $600 on it.
And Crackdown looks fantastic too. So
I think I'm going to be reserving my 4K purchase until next generation.
That makes sense.
I don't see replacing either of the systems I have right now.
Sure. They're also doing another update to the Xbox OS.
Good.
In preview, they have a couple new features, including as you're streaming on Mixer, you can hand over control of the game to a viewer, and via the web browser, the viewer can control the game with an on-screen controller. Pretty interesting.
That's interesting.
And they also added 1440p support, but really nobody who you have to have like a computer monitor to really care about that. So, but I guess people wanted it, so it's in the preview release.
Wow. Okay.
Which sure, cool. Yakuza 6 comes out in April, and they put up a demo.
Last I heard, it came out like last week.
Yeah, they put up a demo of the game that just so happened to be the full game.
Oh, whoops.
Oops. So they did have to walk that back and revoke the licenses, but people who, were able to download it and then take their PS4 offline to have the full game.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's a big oops.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
What are you gonna do?
And no word on whether they're going to replace it with the real demo. Now that they've basically given the game away for free to a few people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Detroit, the next David Cage game, comes out on May 25th for the PlayStation 4 computer entertainment system.
That's cool. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I like what I've seen.
Yeah.
Just speaking of that, did you see that they pushed up the release date for Infinity War?
I did.
It's kind of a cool way to do that. Did you see the whole exchange?
The who's its name? Tony Stark.
Robert Downey Jr. Yeah,
he's got an actual name, I know. But.
Yeah, he tweeted. He tweeted about how he'd like to see the movie early. I mean, obviously, it was all staged, but it was staged really well.
Wait, what?
It was just, he tweeted how he wanted to see the movie early, and it was Marvel's.
I think it was like Marvel's account
tweeted
like
back. It's like, yeah, that's cool. You and some friends, like, well, how about me and everybody? Like, okay, and then they just posted the poster with a release date of late May instead of early April. It was a nice touch.
Yeah, it was cute.
Cool. I'm excited. I can't wait to see that movie.
It's gonna be good.
There you go.
I hope.
Possible.
Yeah.
Sony is making some changes to PlayStation Plus.
Yes.
They are going to remove PlayStation 3 and Vita from the lineup of free games in March of 2019.
Oh my God.
What do we do?
We've only got 12 months.
You've only got 8 years heads up on that. So there's that. And then on the PS4 side, they're starting this in March. They're doing some bigger name games. It starts with Bloodborne and Ratchet and Clank.
That's pretty great because I'll be honest, I haven't downloaded any of the Plus free games for quite a while now.
Knack, dude, Knack.
Yeah, you still have
the original?
24 hours to download Knack.
Why would I download the original Knack?
Why wouldn't you?
Because I finished it when it was new, and I'm okay
Knack.
with it now.
It's not a terrible game.
Knack 2 I've downloaded. That seems like a fair price for Knack 2.
True. I played through Knack 2 2.5 times at this point. I'm almost to the point of maxing out Knack's abilities, and it's very frightening that
you had to play it 2.5 times to max out Knack's abilities.
Well, he has like an ability tree, right? And you can't get it all the way full in one playthrough. I'm just saying.
That sounds frustrating.
It is. You know what else is frustrating? Bug on the Switch that reset your playtime entries.
Wait, Bug's coming to Switch? The Sega Saturn Classic Bug?
No, it's Bug 2. Bug 2.
Okay. Okay.
No, it's a bug in the Switch firmware that shows in your profile, how many days ago you played a game, and because now we're after the 1-year anniversary, it reset everything to played 0 days ago.
Whoops.
Do people really care about this?
People do really care about this.
For some reason, people care about this.
Nintendo had to issue an official statement that they are aware of the bug and are working on a fix on Twitter.
But I wonder, is that time just lost now?
No, it is not lost. People found that basically for the first 10 days you own a title, it says played, 1 day ago, 2 days ago, 8 days ago, 10 days ago, and the maximum is 10. And then after 10 days, so 10 days from the anniversary of the Switch, it'll reset to what it should be, which is played for X amount of hours.
Huh.
Oh.
So it's not that bad a bug. That detail is not lost to time, thankfully. But
I'm so glad you stopped at thank God there. Because you almost said thank God. I mean, it's a cool feature, but I don't see it being a thing that I'm going to get worked up over.
Well, I think it's one of those things like with the 3DS and the Wii U had this also. You could look at your playtime in a separate app, right?
Yeah.
And it was interesting for at least a few games that don't keep track of that internally.
I understand the feature. I'm just saying,
right?
It's not something that I could see myself, about.
It's the internet, so gotta be angry about something.
About something.
Yeah. Here's something to be happy about, though.
Oh,
I suppose. The Breath of the Wild soundtrack has been announced for Japanese release, and it is 5 discs of music, and it comes out in late April. You can
buying music on discs.
You can order it from Amazon Japan, like I did, and get 5 compact discs worth of music. I can't even remember the last time I bought a single CD, much less a collection of 5 CDs
from a game that had no music.
Answer the how much question.
Well, I got the normal edition, which is about $50, and the special edition that contains a special bespoke MP3 player that you can just press a play button on like an iPod Shuffle, and that's $75. So I opted not to get to the limited edition and just got the normal one.
Let me ask you this, DJ.
Yes.
Do you even own a device that plays music CDs?
I do. Yes.
Do you now?
I do.
Your car?
No, what doesn't play music CDs?
What does?
The Xbox, the PlayStation 4. I'm sure they play music CDs. I've never tried.
I wonder if
they do.
Do they?
I'm sure they do, right?
They have CD plus G capabilities.
Oh, CD plus G.
I don't know if they have that. They're not that advanced, but yeah, I have a disc reader writer for my computer.
Oh, do you really?
Using to rip the soundtrack.
Okay.
And then immediately put that on the shelf.
My computer does not have a
just
CD.
So
I have an
PlayStation. The PlayStation 4 does not support audio CDs.
There you go.
Really?
There you go.
Wow.
I don't think any system supported music CDs for some time now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I put a music CD in a game console.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's.
I mean, maybe it does now, but it
by
didn't
that.
when it launched. So it could. The Xbox One, however, does play audio CDs.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm glad I bought one then. I can play that Zelda soundtrack that I'm not going to be buying.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to
Okay.
having that Zelda music. All right.
What music was in it was great.
It certainly was. Yeah. And while we're talking about Zelda,
Yeah.
you know, the Nintendo Switch
Mhm.
recently celebrated its 1-year anniversary.
More like 1-year funiversary. Am I right, people?
That's right. And
You know what's perfect on Switch?
what's that?
A 1-year anniversversary.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. And I went back and listened to episode 539.
Yeah.
Which we retroactively renamed Greg Was Right.
We talked about the Nintendo Switch launch and our experiences with the system, and it was a good show. And I actually listened to the show after that too with special guest Rich Grisham. I was not on that show, and that was also entertaining. So, yeah, Greg was right.
There you go.
Yeah, I especially enjoyed the hidden costs talk of the show, where Greg pointed out you have to buy.
But it will never require a memory card. Ethan will not need to buy a memory card.
Ethan was vehemently saying that you don't need a memory card. You will not need a memory card. And less than a year worth of USC
card. $400.
No, it wasn't $400.
How much was it?
It was a 400 gig card.
Okay.
That's like 200.
Okay.
I think the MSRP might be 250.
Oh, okay.
But Amazon sells it for like 200. So,
well, that means Ethan bought it for 250 because he wouldn't buy it on Amazon.
Well, that's possible. Yeah.
But anyway,
so there you go.
I was listening to most of that today as well.
So wait.
Yeah.
So that was 250 bucks for a 400 gigabyte card.
That's right.
It's cheaper to buy two 200 gig cards.
It is cheaper.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking because I spent $300 on an Xbox One system that came with the
terabyte.
Came with the terabyte. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a flash memory card.
It wasn't.
That's true. It's true. It was not.
Completely different thing. Completely different. It is.
I'm not saying it's not.
Okay. I mean, I bought a 4 terabyte external for my Xbox One, and that was $99.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
well,
memory prices. How do they work?
What were we talking about? The Switch launch.
Yeah, the Switch launch. Another thing that was interesting is the build quality talk.
Because
I think we all kind of railed on the kickstand.
Well, I did.
Not being very good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yes, Nintendo has changed the way those are built now.
And that's good. I still want Bluetooth audio, which the Switch does not do. I wouldn't mind having a larger screen in the same form factor, which means like
lower, smaller.
Smaller bezel.
Is that the right word for that?
Yeah, and more onboard storage would be good too if they want to do that. That'd be great. I would like I said this week.
Onboard storage. There
was some kind of interview that I forget who did it with Kimishima, who said that they're not going to do a Switch 2, and I don't want a Switch 2. I want something like the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X that's just a spec'd up Switch that has a better Tegra processor, more onboard storage, a little bit bigger screen would be nice, but not required, and maybe better battery life and Bluetooth audio. And I would pay for that. Whatever they want to charge, I would pay.
Really, whatever they want to charge.
No, okay, not whatever they want to charge. Within reason. If they want to make a system like that, I will purchase it. Again.
So are we getting into discussion about what we would like to see Nintendo do with the Switch? Or because I know you were asking the Tweeterverse about it.
I was. Yeah, you want to go ahead?
It seems like we are. So
yeah.
I don't really want them to. It's weird. I think they should release a version with all those things, especially more onboard memory.
Yeah.
but I kind of don't want them to because I'm going to feel like, hey, I only bought this a year ago and it's just obsolete right now. But I don't think they should move on to a Switch 2. I think they got to stay in this console cycle for a while. But I don't
think they'll release a Switch 2 or even a Switch Pro this year. I don't think we'll see that this year.
I think if they made the screen bigger, it's right. Like if it was a smaller bezel, that'd be great. I don't think you want to make the system any bigger.
No,
because I think it's a good size. It's just big enough to feel sort of like a premium thing, right? But if you make it bigger than that, it's going to be unwieldy. Cloud saves, got to have cloud saves. Got to get cloud saves.
Or at least some way to back up your saves locally.
That would be nice.
Doesn't necessarily matter if it's cloud or not, just some way. In fact, it'd be better if it wasn't cloud, because cloud saving would probably be tied to the Nintendo Online service. So
that's a good point.
Might be better to just have local, maybe cloud as an option for the online service. But
something that you could maybe transfer your save files onto a computer.
Yep.
Even didn't they do that with the DS? Am I imagining that?
You can do it, with the 3DS and DS. You can do that any amount of times you want.
One of the things that I'd love to see is an official Joy-Con release that includes a D-pad on the left side.
Yeah.
For those of us who want it.
Well, especially since there are a lot of controller shells now, third party, that include that. They may as well do one officially.
Yeah, and I'm saying that most of all because, and I fully understand the irony of this. The Mega Man Legacy Collection.
Oh yeah,
1 and 2 coming out on the Switch. I would love to have that on the Switch, but I won't get it without having a D-pad on one of those Joy-Cons, because I want to play it on the Switch, and I do not want to play it with those 4 buttons.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and they're also adding the rewind feature.
The 4 buttons aren't terrible, though. I mean,
okay, but they're not a D-pad.
They work in a pinch, but yeah, you're right.
So, I'd love to. I would spring for that for sure. It would also make me want to go back and get stuff like, any of the other sort of retro Twitch style, arcade style games on the system. If I could play them handheld using a D-pad, that would be great.
Like any of the Neo Geo stuff, or
great example. Yes,
Blaster Master Zero, which is a great game.
I found it really hard to play using the analog.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Phil, what do you got? You into the idea of a Switch 2 or a revised Switch? What would you want to see if they did such a thing?
I would like to see more excitement. Because
what does that mean?
Because the Switch is full of excitement, and let's have more of it.
Okay.
Wow.
I don't know. I got nothing.
You got nothing. Let's read some of the things we got off Twitter.
Oh, what do we got off Twitter?
Hacker Alias Leftless says, first of all, I'd like to see more games that are perfect for the Switch.
All games are perfect for the Switch. Next.
That's right. Hacker Alias Radical Defect says Kirby Star Allies to be phenomenal. Oh, actually, this is just things they want to see in year 2.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
not
necessarily a revision to the hardware.
Okay.
So Radical Defect, he wants Kirby Star Allies to be phenomenal. Dragon Quest XI with both modern and 3DS visuals included. The online service to be something better than passable at best. And just to put it out into the universe again, Mother 3 in English.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yep.
Hacker Alias Mudron says a steady flow of major releases, at least one a month, and not just all ports of decade-old 360 PS3 games.
There's my wish for the year 2 as well.
Nintendo to finally commit to a sensible online play / virtual console plan.
Yes.
And figure out a way to highlight the good games on the eShop and elevate them above all the shovelware. Yeah, that certainly has started to become an issue. I will just say, like I think I said on the show before, pay attention to the Switch news functionality, because those are really the only titles you should be paying attention to.
The one thing that the Switch store gets right that I'm pretty sure the PlayStation and Xbox store still don't do, you can set favorites.
Oh yeah.
And I think you can filter by those, right? A wish list. You can set a wish list right on the system.
That
is great. Yeah.
which
that is
neither of the other two do.
It is such a common sense feature that it amazes me it's not on the Xbox or PlayStation 4.
Well, it is on the web store for PlayStation.
It doesn't count.
I
don't want to
have
I don't want to have to go to a different device.
I used it this week.
Oh, I'm not saying it's unusable. I use it too, but I would much rather, if I would love to be able to, hey, how about a shared list?
Sure. Yeah.
It should be on the consoles, what I'm getting at.
Hacker Alias Thorbon 3 says, good exclusive games. All game content is on the cartridge and no Switch tax, aka $10 above the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One version.
That ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
Until the Switch cartridges get bigger, and that's not.
Well, if the Switch cartridges get bigger, for one thing, it's going to be even more expensive.
That's what I'm saying.
$10.
It's not going to happen until they can do it for no cost, basically.
Which I would not imagine is going to be a thing.
Yep.
So strap in for $10.
Get a micro SD card.
And go all digital on the Switch, because you want to. Hacker Alias Lero says, a serious driving franchise. Xbox has Forza, PlayStation 4 has Gran Turismo, and Nintendo has
Rad Racer.
Get Left Field to do Excite Bike again.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
that'd be a good one.
Remember Excite Bike 64? That was a good game. By Left Field Productions. I don't know if they still exist, but
yeah. Hacker Alias Lord Wampus says, Animal Crossing Switch, just give me that and I am good.
Amen.
That would be nice.
Hacker Alias Blarcade says, a price drop and a model with more onboard memory, more games designed for the device, and less good enough ports and games I already own on other machines.
Like your Android phone?
Yeah. Hacker Alias Megaball says, portable Wind Waker. That'd be great.
That'd be nice.
I'd buy that again. Wind Waker HD was fantastic.
You would.
Yep.
Yeah. Hacker Alias.
That's what it needs for old games.
That's right. Hacker Alias New Bob Head says, I just want fighting games on the go with net play, and I want to see Steep happen just because I still don't understand how they thought they were going to pull it off easily. Remember Steep, the Ubisoft snowboarding, skiing, sports game?
Yep.
Vaguely.
They announced that it was coming to Switch, and then
really
happened to it.
I don't know how that would be a thing, but okay.
It was in the initial list from the January 2017 event.
Yeah, but it's just that's an always online game.
That is true. Yes.
So it sort of hurts the portability a little bit.
Slightly. Hacker Alias Matt England says an official D-pad Joy-Con set launched alongside the online service.
Yes, please.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. Faux show.
Hacker Alias Miyakasa says, new titles, stop it already with cash grabs, remasters, and ports. Let us download our previous games and have us only pay for upgrades if we want them. The Switch is cracked. Now is the time to do Virtual Console right before that option gets taken away from Nintendo. Okay.
I feel like I hate this, and it's taking me a while to come around to it, but I feel like Virtual Console is not going to be a thing.
I feel like that is true, except for the games that are on Nintendo's online service.
Yes.
I think they're going to use them for that and leave everything else to the NES Classic, the Super Nintendo Classic. Right?
Yes. Yep. I hate to admit it, but I think that's right.
Yes.
Hacker Alias Ms. 1K3 calls out in the chat that he's waiting for the price of Battle Chef Brigade to come down.
Oh. We just had it on sale. Just on sale. For Valentine's week or Lunar New Year, which started on the 15th. What? So it's like 15th through the 23rd. It was on sale.
Really?
Yeah. So, oops, you missed it. It'll be on sale again at some point.
Okay.
Should we read some of the comments? The thoughts 1 year later.
Sure.
Okay.
So we tweeted about the 1 year anniversary and asked for comments. We got this one from Hacker Alias Rich Grisham, who says, one of my favorite systems ever, especially because of its family-friendly library of amazing games, such a wonderful, versatile, happy system that we're all better off with than without.
He's talking about the Switch here.
That's right.
Okay.
Hacker Alias F. Boley says, great start, but I'm worried about what's upcoming. Most big hitters appear to be ports of games I either have or can get cheaply on the Wii U. Hacker Alias Mathman 1024, day one adopter. who was afraid he spent too much just to play the new Zelda. The games that followed, in addition to the portable nature of the device, have justified the purchase. It's my favorite system so far, and my kids love it.
Fair enough.
Yes. Hacker Alias Miri says it's probably my favorite console of all time, and I owned basically everything so far.
Weird, but okay.
Sure. Hacker Alias New Bobhead says I absolutely love it, but I'm really disappointed I haven't been invited to any rooftop parties or played NBA 2K on a basketball court with friends.
Agreed.
Well, you need to start hanging out with cooler friends.
We do at least one basketball rooftop 2K whatever a week.
Oh, all the time.
Oh, yeah. Hacker Alias Mudron says it's easily the best first-year console Nintendo's had since the NES, but it's a shame they couldn't keep the pace up going into its second year, as could be expected, though. And the eShop needs a way to separate the wheat from the chaff. I mean, chaff.
Wheat from the shaft?
Oh,
boy. What are we doing?
Once again,
get to a doctor immediately.
Screw that up. There's way too much shuffleware in there. Yes. Hacker Alias Cheesecake Jones says it's had one of the best opening years of any console ever. That's for sure. It's also the first Nintendo console in a while that doesn't feel like you need to make excuses for it. I haven't felt that way since the SNES.
I don't know. I feel like Player One Podcast has made all the excuses for it, so there aren't really any left to be made.
I suppose. Yeah.
All right.
So there you go.
So happy first birthday, Switch.
Happy, 1 year
you
anniversary.
Son of a Switch.
Oh.
Switchmas. Happy Switchmas.
Yeah.
That still?
No.
Is that a thing? No, we're done.
Let's move on.
All right, let's get into what we have been playing. Let's start with Greg.
What I've been playing. Okay. So I played some Burnout 3 Takedown this week for the OG Xbox, which we played for back in my play, the return of back in my play, because Kevin Larraby's one of those weirdos that says Burnout Paradise is the greatest racing game ever made, which is just strange. When it clearly the Burnout series peaked with Burnout 3 Takedown.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right. Agreed.
Thank you. That game is great, man. That game, I hadn't played it probably. Well, CJ and I played it a lot online back when it was out on the Xbox One. What, 2004, I think this game came out.
2004. Yep.
Played a ton of it then, and hadn't played it since. And wow, like it was one of those moments where I was just constantly smiling the whole time I played it, even when I was wrecking, even when I was losing. Didn't care. Just having such a good time playing it, and it really holds up, which I find a lot of old racing games don't. Both from a technical standpoint, because there used to be a point, it doesn't seem to happen as much anymore, but it used to be a thing where anytime a new console came out, you had a big racing game to go with it, because it was a great way to sort of show off the power of the console.
Yeah.
But I find you go back to a lot of those games that you found were like that you thought played really great, and the controls and the physics don't necessarily work so well anymore, which it's kind of a really great indication of how far that genre has come in the past 15 years. But Burnout 3 really stands up. It's a lot of fun. It's very forgiving for a game that's all about crashing, and
that's what I liked about it.
Yeah, and like little things like the aftertouch when you do crash, you're able to actually move your car around to see if you can collect other racers and get some bonuses. Just everything about it is great. Even the licensed music and the whole radio station vibe. And yeah, I really, really love that game a lot. I'd forgotten how much I like it.
60 frames a second. It's really fast. It's great.
Yep. And they ruined it all with Paradise. I didn't go back and replay Paradise because I don't own it anymore. And but I went back and watched some videos and remembered very quickly what drove me nuts about that game. Glad I didn't spend any time on it this week. Another old game that I was playing this week based on donor request on Twitch TV/Sewart is Radiant Silvergun. I was playing the 360 release, which is backwards compatible on the Xbox One. It's harder. I think it's harder than the Saturn version.
Really?
But so good.
Really?
Have you guys ever really played Radiant Silvergun?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
On GameCube.
Oh yeah, right. I forgot it came out on GameCube. So it was a treasure shooter for the Saturn, one of those sort of highly sought after games that didn't come here. But everybody imported games on the Saturn, and it's got this great feature where you can collect certain projectiles, and after you collect a certain amount of them, you get this great sort of screen clearing attack. But more than that, you've got 3 different weapons that not only can be fired separately, but can be combined just using button presses, which was always such a great thing in this game. Like you have like your regular shot, you had a homing shot, and you had, I forget what the third one is, to be honest, but you pressed each of those buttons separately on the controller and you just use those weapons. But if you press 2 of those buttons together, they would actually combine to create a new weapon. It's actually very similar to the system that was in Gunstar Heroes, which was also Treasure.
Yeah.
Where, like 2 separate weapons, but you could also tap that select button a third time to combine those weapons and come up with some really cool combos.
By the way, I was thinking of Ikaruga, not Radiant Silvergun. Radiant Silvergun was re-released for the Xbox 360, though.
Yes, that's the one I was playing this weekend or this week. And then the nice thing was there was a story mode and it's an arcade mode. And the arcade mode is a little bit easier. Story mode, though, either one that you play, as you use the weapons to defeat enemies, they actually level up. And if you're playing in story mode, the levels actually carry forward on each subsequent playthrough. So the game is, for me anyway, extremely hard when you start it. It's only like 6 or 7 levels long, but the levels are massively long for a shooter. But as you replay, you're stronger and stronger, and it actually gets to the point that you can feel it, like even within the first 4 or 5 plays, that you're burning through enemies so much faster. Just absolutely adore that game. Always did. And the nice thing is, it's funny because the 360 release came out and I bought it immediately, but I never really played it. And of course, this game has a huge story surrounding it. Like the opening video is quite long. I played it a million times on the Saturn. Never knew what the hell was going on. But to play it now, you get all the subtitles and everything, which is great because there's just a lot of story to the game. It's all nonsense, but it's still fun. So it's great. I really, really enjoyed playing it. I played it for about an hour and a half this week, and all the graphics have been upgraded and everything too. It looks better than the Saturn game did. It's so good. If you haven't, I highly, especially if you like Ikaruga as well, because Ikaruga was kind of an evolution of this play type, and there's actually an Ikaruga setting in this remake.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you also get bonuses based on killing enemies of similar colors. I think all it really does is give you points bonuses, though. I don't think it really does anything else in the game. I could be wrong about that. But there's an Ikaruga setting that I haven't really tried, but it was sort of an evolution of this gameplay. So if it's still available as far as I know, and I highly recommend going and grabbing, especially where it's backwards compatible in the Xbox One. You won't be disappointed. It's a really, really great shooter. So, so there was that. I did get my Switch back. Someone in the channel, I think it was Zelda's biggest fan in the channel, asked if my Switch came back. It did come back a couple weeks ago. And of course, I was hankering to play Breath of the Wild's downloadable content.
Yeah.
So I went through and I got all the EX items, and that was great. I went and tried the Master Sword trials, got pretty deep into them, and got kind of sick of it. I'm not a big fan of the whole... you've spent hours in this game collecting loot and all that stuff, and now we're going to take it all away.
Sure.
So not crazy about that. So then I went and did the Hero's Path is the second DLC quest. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I believe
Hate it. Absolutely hated it.
So it's a one hit. Are you talking about the bit that starts you off and gives you one hit, basically, like gives you half a heart that you have to take over certain enemy camps with just the one heart or half heart?
Despised it.
Here's what you do on that.
Don't
put
play
on
it.
Majora's Mask. And
I've done that.
The enemies don't see you.
I've done that.
And be stealthy and kill them one by one.
And I get it. And I mean, certain camps are easier to get through than others. Like there's one camp that had a flock of those little single-eyed bat things.
Yeah.
That you don't want to go near.
Right? I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, because I was sort of picking that camp apart, and I was like, okay, this is great. And then out of the blue, I'm dead. and it's because this flock had been flying around and came down and hit me. Yeah. So the way it works is you get a specific weapon that's good for one hit kills, but you can use it as much as you want. But the first 2 times you use it in a sequence, those are one hit kills, and then it goes down to like 1 damage point until it recharges. Much like the Master Sword, it has to recharge. But the problem is while you have it equipped, you have a quarter heart, and that's it. You cannot heal, can't do anything. It drove me nuts. I'm not down with that, and it's really essentially the same thing as the Master Sword trial, where it's like you've got all this stuff, but we're not going to let you use it. I get it that it's challenging, but yeah, I played it for a couple hours and I'm done. I turned it off, and that'll probably be the last time I play Breath of the Wild.
I got past that point, and then it wants you to do the Divine Beasts again, or at least the bosses from the Divine Beasts, and that too, it takes all of your weapons from you and gives you a set item list, and also leaves you with no food.
Yeah, see, I mean, and I know there are people who like that kind of thing, but I'm not one of them. And I was really looking forward to, I don't know, just another storyline to play.
Well, you do get that.
Well, yeah, you get that, but it's shackled by this crap.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm a little bummed because like the 2 main quest lines that came with the DLC I paid $30 for, I'm not into either of them. So
but at least you get the hero's path. Did you do that thing where you look at the map and you can see everywhere that you've been?
Yeah,
because that was also part of the DLC.
Oh, I know, but I mean, that's yeah. I looked at that once and it's like that's interesting.
It's kind of neat to look at it and be like, oh my god, this area of the map I didn't even go to.
Not $35 neat, but yeah, it was neat.
No, right?
So
it was $35. Really?
Canada.
Damn.
What's the price? What's the price of it?
I thought it was $20.
Oh, maybe it was. That would have been 25 or 30 in Canadian then.
I don't remember because it's been a year ago.
Yeah. But like I say, I mean, I know people are fine, and I know some people went through it really easily. But I died enough that I wasn't happy about it. Like I got into one of the shrines that unlocks and died a couple times because I screwed up a jump, and I was just like right on the edge of not being happy with it, and that was enough for me to say like, nope, done.
Oh, I really liked the new shrines that it brings up in the plateau. Cool. Anyway, I thought they were cool. Thought they were nice.
So anyway, I've put that away and fired up Fire Emblem Warriors instead,
which is a fantastic game,
which I'm really enjoying. Only played about an hour.
Well. Dad, you played Hyrule Warriors before this?
I have that, but I have not played it.
Oh man, that is personally, I think Hyrule Warriors is a better game than Fire Emblem Warriors. Although Fire Emblem does add some more strategic elements.
Really?
Like from the Fire Emblem series to the whole.
I see it's got the permadeath.
Yeah, you can have that on or off.
It's totally off for me, but yep.
Yeah.
No, I really, really enjoyed it. And like, it's funny because I've had that for a while now too. And it's one of those games that my son's pretty good at sort of trying out all the games I have, but he hadn't tried that yet. And I was playing it today and he came home from his practice and I was like, you should give this a try. I really think you'll like it. And he played it for like 4 hours today.
It's a 2-player co-op too.
Oh, is it really?
Yes.
I didn't realize that. Ooh.
Yeah, it's got split screen co-op, as does Hyrule Warriors when that comes out, definitive edition.
I did not take enough time to realize that, and that's awesome. I am going to be playing that with my son for the rest of the time.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's great. But yeah, I mean, it's exactly what I expected. It's, run in and just tap attack over and over again, and that's fine.
Sure.
It looks pretty. It's got a nice story. My son likes it, so I'm excited to play more of it.
Oh, well. Like everybody likes Muso.
No.
How do you know?
I like Nintendo more than I like Muso.
How do we know?
There you go. How's that Dynasty Warriors 9 treating you? You play any of that?
Oh, I heard
that. Buy that. I've heard not good things about it.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
the video I watched on it was from Jim Sterling, and even if you take out his sort of really hateful commentary. Just the footage he played of it was just
well, I believe
awful.
I believe he is.
He's a fan.
He's a Muso fan.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And I mean, when you play those games, you kind of accept certain things. Like, I mean, playing Fire Emblem today, seeing enemies just appear and disappear out of nowhere.
Right.
Like, they're not even trying to hide it. And you kind of like, if you're playing it, I feel like if you're playing it with the right attitude, it's just like, I don't care. They're not hiding it.
Right.
Yeah. It's fine. But some of the stuff he was showing in his Dynasty Warriors 9 was just like, whoa, this is garbage.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
That's a shame.
Anyway, that's what I've been playing.
Okay. I've been playing some more Dragon Quest Builders.
Yeah.
Some DQB. Yeah.
DQB.
Still within
That's how they say it on the street.
And I'm really enjoying it. It's sort of like a nice zone out, listen to podcasts or music and play the game sort of game. So I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I'm building a lot of stuff that I did not build in Chapter 1. So yeah, it's good. I like it still.
Neato.
And it's perfect for the Switch. Pac-Man 2 or Pac-Man Championship Edition 2 Plus. So I played some more of this week as well, and I'm finally at the top of my friend's leaderboard for the first Championship Edition 2 mode in the game, which is nice. Doing a little high score chasing there, and I'm really enjoying this game. And it does have some technical issues. It's got some weird slowdowns. But I really like it. It's fun.
Yeah,
I do wish that they had included Pac-Man Championship Edition 1 in the Switch re-release, but maybe they'll do that next. I don't know.
Well, it is an old game, so the odds are pretty high.
Yeah. Dig into that catalog a little further, just to go a couple more years back.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes. I also played Crackdown on the Xbox One X.
Yeah. It's a good game.
Immediately when I got home, I booted that up, and it looks amazing in 4K. It just looks great, and it plays great too. And I sort of wish that they had made Crackdown 2 backwards compatible at the same time, because it would be nice to boot that up as well. I remember not liking 2 as much because it used the same island, and it felt like it was way too much of a retread. But I wonder if I would feel that way now with more time in between the two. Kind of like Pac-Man Championship Edition 2, where at first I didn't like it,
but now that it's on Switch,
now that it's out on Switch,
forget about it.
Now that Crackdown's in 4K, if Crackdown 2 was in 4K, I might like it better.
Can you imagine if Crackdown 2 was on Switch?
I might like it 9 times more.
It's not gonna be better.
It probably won't be. No. I really hope Crackdown 3 is good.
Man, me too.
Really hope
so. Me too.
Yeah. Replaying Crackdown, it's like there are bits that are fiddly, right? Like jumping and like grabbing onto certain ledges. Like you have to have the angle just right.
Oh yeah, it wasn't perfect
on the window.
No.
I mean, obviously games have come after this, like Infamous and Assassin's Creed has gotten much better with scaling buildings and whatnot. But yeah, Crackdown, like just replaying it now, it's like you have to be exactly onto that window to be able to grab it, and even the camera angle seems to kind of affect whether you're going to grab the piece of the ledge or not. But it was really great hearing that agility orb sound again. Just standing on top of a building, I took a screenshot of this and tweeted it, and seeing like 5 agility orbs right there.
Oh
right?
Man, what are you waiting for?
Yeah, I know. That's all I'm gonna do is find the agility orbs. I'm not even gonna care about the gangs.
Yep.
But it looks great, and obviously all the DLC works. So the stuff like the Keys to the City DLC, which basically unlocks everything except you can't save in the game, all that stuff is available. And it's a good time. Played a little bit of Burnout Paradise on the Xbox One as well. That is a backwards compatible game, and it's it said my screenshot was in 4K, so I don't know if I don't know if that's correct or not, but it looks good, and it took all of my DLC that I did have for the 360 version and let me re-download it. So that was awful nice.
All right.
And like Greg, I was replaying it mainly to fight off Kevin Larrabee during our Burnout episode of Back of My Play. And I didn't like it as much.
No,
didn't like Paradise City.
Because with age has come taste.
Well, and also my eyesight has gotten worse. You see, and it's harder to see the intersections coming up and the oncoming traffic.
Hey, it would be great. A guide on the road.
Now that would be fantastic.
Oh man,
that's like Forza Horizon, which I love. It's much better than flashing the street sign of the turn you should make. Yeah. just a ridiculous way to do it. Anyway, slice it. I also picked up Nex Machina for the PlayStation 4 computer entertainment system. That, of course, is a top-down dual-stick shooter from Housemarque and Eugene Jarvis.
The one and only.
The one and only. Exactly. So I had heard good things about the game, and I added it to my wish list on the PlayStation 4 on the website. And it just so happened it was on sale this week, and for half price. So I think it's either $9 or $10 or $5, one of those. Anyway, I picked it up and tried it, and oh my god, it is such a fun throwback to overhead twin stick shooters or like Smash TV. It's just great. Like the sound design is fantastic. It is at the beginning of the game. It is very, very good with the flipping out trophies. It is very generous with trophies,
which you want at the beginning of the game.
Having them fire off all the time. Basically, I think I got like 8 trophies in the first 20 minutes I was playing, and it's just a really fun score chase arcade style game. And I know a lot of people didn't pay attention to this when it came out, but man, it is good. It is really good. And I had also downloaded Matterfall, which is another Housemarque game that also came out last summer, and I wasn't feeling that one. So there was something a little bit off about that one. But Nex Machina being a real arcade throwback in terms of the sound design and how the graphics are presented on screen and everything. Just a really fantastic game. And it is in 4K HDR, of course, on PlayStation Pro.
Of course.
And it looks fantastic in 4K, for sure. And
such an elitist now.
It was only like $5 or $10 or whatever.
Man, that's
like, well worth the price.
That's like pennies on the K.
I know. It's worth that just for the trophies. Just to get your experience level up there. But really fun time. Really, really fun time. If you're at all into the arcade style twin stick stuff, definitely get Nex Machina. It's super fun. I did not expect to like it as much as I did, but I had heard recommendations on other podcasts, so I went into it.
Cool.
Anyway,
yes,
that's all I've been playing. Phil,
yeah,
what do you got?
Oh, I got my Xbox.
Yeah, huh?
I played a little more Cuphead. We've talked about Cuphead before. It's a great game. Finn is having a blast watching me play Cuphead.
Yeah.
And played a little Rare replay. Played a little Sunset Overdrive, which seems like it's going to be fun. I just played the very, very beginning of that game.
Same here.
Sure.
So, yeah, it seems like it's going to be fun.
That is a fun game. I finished that game.
Oh, yeah?
I did.
I was able to get brand new the Day 1 edition. So, I don't...
It's embarrassing that game did not sell. But I chalk that up more as a casualty of the original Xbox One launch more than anything, right?
Yeah. It was terrible.
And that was off Amazon, by the way. That was not like I went into a GameStop or something like that. That was going onto Amazon and just buying a brand new copy of the day one edition of Sunset Overdrive.
Did you just buy a copy of Sunset Overdrive and it just so happened to deliver you the day one edition? Or?
Nope, it was specifically denoted on the listing as the day one edition.
Wow.
Oh,
yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I do feel, though, and tell me how you feel about the system, the experience of like setting it up and Xbox Live and everything like that. Did you feel like they had a good user experience there for you coming back into it?
I will just say this, and I was going to bring this up with you guys. Is it just me, or is like the whole UI for the Xbox One just horrible?
It's horrible.
Like it's a mess. Like I put a disc in, and then I spend 3 minutes flipping around trying to see where the way to start the game I just put in the system is. Like
it should be on the home screen.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
I put it in though, and I put in like the Sunset Overdrive disc, and then there's like a big thing there that just says like resume playing rare replay. And I'm just like, well, no, I just put in.
I mean, one of the nice, I don't know if the S does this or the X does this, but one of the wonderful bugs with the Xbox One hardware is not necessarily recognizing the disc right away.
Oh, great.
Or it'll recognize the disc, and then you go to play it, and it'll say, to play this, you need the disc.
Uh-huh.
And then you have to reset the system.
I guess I don't run into that because I'm all digital. So
and there seems to be like a lot of controller lag on just like going through just again on the main like home screen and the
lag is kind of one of those features of Xbox hardware. Anyway, the 360 is like that too. Well, I think it's just because the OS has a huge footprint and it just does. Taxing the system a little bit. To be honest,
the OG Xbox One that I had, that was my biggest complaint, was that awful lag. And the One X, it's a little bit better, but it still does exist. I found it's at its worst when it's installing something or downloading something.
Yeah.
And then it kind of clears up, but it's still a problem. And I think part of it is that the system footprint is just large and
it just seems like a muddled mess. The whole UI.
I do like, though, I really like the you hit the Xbox Jewel and it brings over the overlay. And from there, you can pretty much get anything you want. You can look at your recent achievements. You can start a party. You can go looking for group. You can access My Games and Apps. You can go to the store. You can get really a whole lot of information right there. And it doesn't spend a lot of time spinning like the PlayStation UI does. The PlayStation UI, like anytime it has to access the network for anything, it just spins and spins and spins.
Yeah.
But like if you bring up one of the features I really like in that that snap over menu is you can see how many friends you have online, and then you can see how many are in a game.
Oh, okay.
Right, instead of just watching a DVD or watching Hulu or whatever.
Well, it just seems like
you don't like it.
This system UI for all of the modern systems is just terrible. I don't think there's a UI.
I don't think anyone has quite nailed it,
or the PS4 or the Switch that I look at and I'm just like, okay, yeah, this is the way all systems should be. So
I really do hope that with the next generation of systems, both companies or all of the companies are able to somewhat wipe the slate clean,
right?
And like PlayStation not being able to change your PSN name and
right.
Cloud storage and managing all of that stuff, like it's a mess, really. You go into the PlayStation system settings and it's not in alphabetical order. I don't know what order it's actually in. It's just all over the place.
Yeah.
So I really do hope they the next gen cleans that up a whole lot.
Yeah, none of the systems are good in that sense.
No.
But Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm going to talk about this,
Okay.
and people aren't going to care because it's a mobile game.
Oh, I think I know what game you're talking about.
But Pocket Mortys.
I know,
me tell
right?
you.
Oh god.
We got over
Adult Swim
300
Games
Mortys.
has done it again. No,
Got
not
300.
not that nonsense.
No? Oh.
There is a new game that came out for the iOS called Time UFO. And this is a game by HAL Laboratories. Like the Kirby people.
Really?
And the Box Boy people.
And the Box Boy people. It's an iOS game with a solid pedigree because it's friggin' HAL Labs doing it. And it is outstanding.
It really is.
It's what, $4 or $5. No in-app purchases or anything like that, which is nice. But it's you are a little UFO, and you look like, you know, in the Kirby games when Kirby transforms into a UFO.
Yeah,
I think it's the same design, isn't it?
Very similar.
It looks like UFO Kirby, but you are this little UFO, and it's a physics-based puzzle. I don't know if I'd describe it as a puzzle game, but it seems to fit about as much as anything else.
I would call it UFO catcher action platform.
That sounds exactly what it should be. Yes. So it's a little physics-based game where you are thrown into a level and you have a goal that you need to accomplish, and it varies from level to level. And you press a button and a little like UFO catcher claw comes out of the bottom of your ship, and it grabs onto whatever you want, and you have to maneuver it around. And you know, one level you're grabbing cheerleaders and stacking them up to create a tower of cheerleaders, and another level you're grabbing food off of a conveyor belt to toss into a salad, or you're picking up like a museum display has been destroyed, and you're picking up the chunks of it trying to rebuild this statue on a pedestal. And yeah, it's like I said, it's all very physics based, so it's easy to knock stuff over, and you're trying to balance things. But it's super fun and way addictive, and it's really, really cute. And the controls are really nice, and it's a HAL Labs game. And those tend to be good, and this one is actually, it's a ton of fun, and I don't get into iOS games like at all these days.
Yeah.
But this one has got its claws.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend checking out Time UFO. It is a hoot and a holler, and it
is well worth the few dollars.
Yeah, don't blow it off because it's an iOS game.
Right.
Pay attention to it because it's a HAL Labs game.
Okay.
And HAL knows what they're doing.
True.
So so that's been my week, is just, you know, bits and pieces of Xbox games. I played a little bit of Crackdown. Until I remembered that I probably shouldn't play that when Finn's awake, because it's got some language and stuff in there that he doesn't need to be repeating in his kindergarten class, and stuff like that. But that's about all I've been playing. Although, you know what I did, based on Greg Stewart. Do you know this guy?
Heard of him.
Yeah.
Minor internet celebrity.
Yeah, major, big time star, Vegas performer.
That's true.
Greg
Stewart. I did star in Vegas one night only.
Yeah, he based on his Sega collection that he has been curating. He was showing off some of the stands that he bought for his Nomad and with some of your controllers and things like that.
Yep.
I bought some of those. The
Rose-colored gaming.
Rose-colored gaming.
They make good stuff.
Yeah, I ordered a few stands from them, and they shipped out like super quick.
Oh yeah,
they got there like right away. But look at this. I got this is more for the people watching on the YouTubes now. But here I got a stand for my old Game & Watch I got a couple old Game and Watch things there.
Awesome.
I got a stand for that. I got a stand for my OG Game Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. It's got the Game Boy logo etched into it right there.
So great.
Yeah. And my little Famicom Game Boy Micro. It's got a little nice stand for that.
And it's got, I like that they do that where they customize it for the different type of micro it is. Like that's the Famicom one. There's a little badge there.
Yeah, it's got kind of a red base to match the maroon of the system, and then the little Famicom badge right there. So
that's great.
Yeah, if you want to have nice little display stands for some of your retro systems and that sort of thing, I highly recommend. I actually just ordered a couple more because I have the Famicom GBA SP.
Oh yeah,
I still can't find my GBA SP. I think I need to buy one.
I got my NES GBA SP that I gotta.
Whereas you've got all of them.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
So I am pretty pleased with that. I'm gonna get a nice cabinet like you have there, Greg. And
there you go.
Make a little
less than $100 to the IKEA.
Oh yeah, for sure. So
Hacker Alias Sledge in the chat is asking, am I looking forward to the Saturn replacement long cases? Yes. Limited Run Games is putting together. Apparently they had a bit of an issue with the mold, so they've gone back and reworked it a little bit, but putting together replacement long cases, the jewel cases that Sega CD and Saturn games came in. I'm super excited about that because I have about a dozen that I'd like to replace.
Yeah, but those cases are fragile as all get out.
Oh god, yeah. And like we were talking about last week, I mean, you were talking about dragging your collection state to state for years.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I've been doing the same thing, and those Sega CD and Saturn games, they just don't like that too much.
Do you remember when Saturn was being closed out at Best Buy?
Right.
They had games that they were selling for $5 a piece.
Yeah.
It depended on which Best Buy location you went to if they were actually going to have those rock bottom prices, right?
Yeah.
But I cleared the place on several Best Buy stores because that was super cheap, and Saturn is a great system, and a lot of those were in like cracked cases.
Oh, right.
I didn't care about the condition of the case because I was buying it for $5, and that's fine. So I have a bunch of games that are in cracked cases that I may want to replace.
Right on.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. You know what I think that means?
Was that?
We're into the tweets.
Tweet.
All righty.
Now,
Hacker alias Jono Sharp says, I played through Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube recently, and it was fantastic.
So good.
It's a good game.
What did you think of the sequel, Dark Moon, in comparison? Any desire for a new entry?
I loved it, and yes.
Yeah.
Dark Moon, I don't know that I would say it was... I think I have sort of greater... It might just be nostalgia. I have greater love for the original, but Dark Moon was awesome, and God, I would love to have another Luigi's Mansion.
Definitely. Dark Moon is right up there with Link Between Worlds as my favorite 3DS game. Like, they're pretty much tied, I think.
Words.
Yeah, I love both of them. It's absolutely fantastic. And the original Luigi's Mansion, I thought was an amazing game. I gave it a 9 or a 9.5 in EGM. I loved it.
Didn't you get a bunch of crap from other EGM editors for that?
Yeah, I think Shu gave it like a 4.5 or a 5.
Shu's weird.
Because, and I think this is just what back then people were looking for. They wanted Mario 64.
Yeah, it wasn't a Mario game, yeah.
And it was Luigi's Mansion. It was a completely different game. It wasn't a platformer like Mario 64, and that was what people were looking for, and that's why I think at the time people thought, "Oh, this is disappointing."
Honestly, that did the game no favors. The fact that it was the Mario game that came out, it was unfortunate because I think a lot of people didn't even give the game a chance.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it's good that the reviews punished the game for not being what the reviewer was expecting.
That's right.
GM, baby.
It's days. Yeah. I'm giving this Madden game a 2 because it's not a side-scrolling platformer that I was hoping to play.
That's not. No.
I'm giving these card games a 1 because you could just go buy a deck of cards.
What was the one? What was the review? Endless Ocean, was it, for the Wii, where they didn't give it a score because they refused to acknowledge it as a game? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, they did
they
did a fake review where it was we're gonna write a review and say that this is a garbage game, but it's not really a game, so we're not giving it a score.
Right.
But it's still garbage.
Understand that.
Yeah.
Didn't really understand that, but yeah, I was not at the magazine at that time. So. Yeah. But desire for new entry, I'd love that if they made another Luigi's Mansion.
Oh yeah,
great. Yep. Even if they did a
perfect for Switch,
the original one and Dark Moon on the Switch. I think I wanted that when it was the Wii U.
True, because I don't remember exactly, but I don't think the 3DS game required the second screen, right?
I don't remember.
I don't think it did. You're right.
Yeah, so it would make that. I would much rather a third game though.
Or they certainly could have done it on the Wii U, where it did have a second screen.
Yeah.
But I do want a new one. But Next Level Games, who did Dark Moon, who knows what they're working on?
Yeah.
It's been a while since Dark Moon.
Could be working on a new one.
They could be. That would be fantastic too. All right. Hacker alias Mr. Nelson says, I see that Greg and Phil are selling off chunks of their collection.
Yep.
I have started to do the same since I am feeling overwhelmed by all of my old games that I'll never play again. Do you have tips in how to purge without second guessing your decisions?
It's like ripping off a Band-Aid. Just do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the reasons I'm kind of stalled now is that I'm second guessing everything.
Yeah,
I think that's really the case. Like, I need to just grab handfuls of these games and go somewhere locally that'll just buy them.
Yeah.
So I can just be rid of them.
Yeah, I mean that's.
I don't think I have a place like Pink Gorilla here.
I don't either.
That would do that.
Right.
I'm envious of that situation.
Well, you guys just need to fly out to Seattle
with our game collections
with boxes and boxes and boxes of games.
No,
and I'll show you where the place is. And you can get rid of your stuff.
Seems legit.
Yeah. That's my only advice. I mean, considering that a good chunk of my stuff was gotten rid of inadvertently. It really is. Like I said, it's like ripping off a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
You know, just do it and it'll hurt for a little bit, but then you will feel much better. So there you go.
All right. Hacker alias Space Kappa says, I'm loving the Secret of Mana remake, even though it's getting ripped apart in reviews. Have there been any games where you felt the reviews were way off in either direction?
One of the EGM Luigi's Mansion reviews.
Yeah.
You know what? I mean, first of all that matters is that you're enjoying it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right.
And here's the other thing. I mean, and I think we talked about this a long time ago on the show. You can like a bad game. I mean, or what are considered critically as a quote unquote bad game, right? Like the developers for a lot of these games they don't set out to make a bad game.
Yeah.
And just
as a person who's made bad games, I can agree with that.
And just like you can enjoy a quote unquote bad movie or one that is not critically acclaimed, you can like, and you shouldn't feel bad about liking a game that has been slammed by reviewers. In the case of Secret of Mana, I think it's one of those things where because it has such nostalgia and because the original is held in such high esteem, there were maybe, I'm not going to say impossible things to live up to, but they're looking at it from a different perspective. And when you're a professional video game reviewer and you have to get through something by a deadline, you're probably going to be bothered by things that somebody just playing through for fun are not going to be bothered by. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
I would also disagree with EGM's review of Cthulhu, man.
What did they give it?
You reviewed it.
I know.
You reviewed it.
Yeah.
What did you give that game?
I think it was like a 6.
Oh,
I think I did the same thing. Gave it like a 7.
We had a big conversation about that because, like, I remember you, me, and Jeannie sitting there and talking about that when we reviewed it because we all agreed that it was a great game.
Yeah,
but it was a real conundrum because it was so short and there really wasn't much replay value. It's like, can we give it this great score when we're supposed to be telling people whether they should go spend their money on this? And
you should have given it the great score.
Tough. Well, I mean, in today's market, that wouldn't even be a discussion.
Yeah,
right. I think we may have worded it. I'd have to go back and look. I don't remember, but I think I may have said something like, "If you were a fan of music games and Japanese culture, add
rejoice.
2 score,
rejoice,
and also rejoice."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Blue Dragon.
Which, Blue Dragon.
I also reloaded on the Xbox One X, and it doesn't look very good. But I've forgotten some of the things that it does, like after a cutscene and it goes back to where you're playable, a little voice comes on the screen and says, "Playable."
Oh, really? It's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Like a game that has to tell you, hey, dummy.
You can play now.
Really knows its audience.
It would have been better if it said, "You can play now."
There you go.
Pick up the stupid controller.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right.
In your eyes, showing you what you can't see.
I love that game.
You are blind, staring down eternity.
I love that game. It's flawed, but it's so. I finished that game with
remember
0 achievements because the achievements were all like,
the achievements were
mini games.
Stupid. Yeah.
Awful. Let's do this one from Hacker Alias Phoenix E Ember, who says, I imported 2 boxes of Super Mario cereal into Australia when I saw a USA food importer ad. When has a game advert worked on you?
A lot. I mean,
well, the special edition Breath of the Wild 5-disc CD thing, it worked on me right there.
Is that a game advert?
No.
Then that's not an answer.
Yeah.
But it's like an impulse buy of a game related.
Oh my God, CJ, your entire adult life is an impulse buy. What are you talking about?
You and Ethan. What are you trying to say? God. What are you trying to say?
You know exactly what I'm trying to say.
Here? I played that.
Man.
I'll probably buy that. How many Game Boys? How many Game Boys were you up to?
A lot. It was at least a dozen.
Yeah.
Pokemon Game Boys.
Oh man.
So I don't know. I mean, I take your pick. Like if you go back to when I was a young Greg and like a teenage Greg and reading game magazines, a lot of ads worked on me. I'm sure.
Yeah, well,
I think reviews probably worked on me a little better, but
especially in those early days when there was no internet. To really influence you or to allow you to do any research, stuff like game advertisements and the back of boxes were really all you had to go on. So, certainly
all that stuff worked on me.
Certainly, like Atari 2600.
Man, those were even more fun because a lot of the print ads you'd see for those didn't show screenshots; they showed artist renditions of screenshots.
Oh yeah,
right. Even the back of the box wasn't screenshots
because they didn't have a good way to take screenshots.
Yeah.
There was an Atari 2600 game called Deadly Duck. I don't know if you remember Deadly Duck. It was kind of like a Galaga riff. But I remember the advertisements for that game, like there were TV ads for it at the time. But the TV ads and the again, just the box in the back of the box sold me on that game. And I'm assuming
they were all lies.
Well, of course they were lies. I mean, I gotta get on the YouTube and look up and see if the TV ad is on YouTube. But I seem to remember like it being some sort of weird puppet duck or something.
Yeah. But that, I mean, back in the day, that was all we had to go on was the back of the box, and whatever Nintendo Fun Club News happened to say about the game, like anticipation. I thought that was going to be really good.
Actually, using that as an example, Nintendo Power's articles where they just ran maps of games sold me on so many games.
Oh yeah.
Like in fact, Xanadu.
Yeah.
I bought that entirely based on the maps that Nintendo Power published.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
those maps. It was great. It was a really good game, but like I didn't know anything about it.
Yep.
Yeah. Based on marketing. I mean, I can't imagine going into a game store now and trying to make heads or tails of the front and back of the box copy. And
do you even read the back of? When was the last time you read the back of the box of any game you own?
Well, that's just it. Well,
long time.
I think most boxes these days don't even have much copy on the back of the box because so much room is eaten up by all the legal text and having to put it in multiple languages.
That's true.
But then we're old enough to remember going to the aisle in Toys R Us and spending an hour flipping those little cards up and reading the back of everything to see.
Yep.
Sure.
Man, those were the days.
Yes, indeed.
So great.
Yeah.
All right, is that a show?
You know what? I'm gonna throw this out there just for a more recent example. The last time I bought a game based solely on the box art, based solely on the actual packaging.
Yeah, I think I know what you're gonna say. Yeah.
What am I gonna say?
One of those was it the Wizards something for PS1 where the box art was so terrible, but it was like a Japanese value game that came out.
No, it is not that.
But you remember what I'm talking about, right?
I remember there were a bunch of crappy budget PS1 games that were. I was collecting a bunch of those for a while.
Great. The ones that came out that were just called like racing.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember those. Was it H-Tech that did that?
Yes. I think they put out a bunch of those. Yeah.
And Tomo.
That's how Top Shop came out, though.
Oh yeah, that's true. Which was a really good game.
Yeah.
No, there was a PSP game called Every Extend Extra.
Oh right,
I remember that, and oh my god, it had great box art.
It had this beautiful box art. It was like a woman's face profile, but made out of like rainbow colored streaks,
lasers.
Beautiful box art.
Lasers.
And I bought the game based solely. I did not like the game at all.
No, lasers.
Played the game. Baldness.
Lasers.
This game has lasers.
That made you buy that game.
Game was called Every Laser Extend for the PlayStation PS Portable. But yeah, I did not like it was some puzzle game, and it was not a very good one. But boy, that box art was pretty. So
yeah,
that was that. Anyway,
lasers.
Lasers.
Okay. Let's wrap this up.
We gotta hurry. I gotta get on stage to present the next award at the Hollywood Awards.
Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you would like to comment on something you heard, or perhaps ask us a question, you can direct all of that to @P1Podcast on the Twitters, or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Seward.
There was a new one this week about Racing Aces.
Indeed, there was. Racing Aces.
Real quick, thank Greg Hammond, who was the creator of that game, one of the creators of that game. He answered some of my questions about it.
Nice.
It's really nice of him.
We got your Generation 16 episodes as they come out as well.
Yeah, and the latest episode will be going out to $3 plus patrons right after the show stops recording, which means that it'll be available to the general public next Monday.
Awesome. And you'll find our contact information. You'll find show notes and links and the stuff that we talked about during the show on our website as well. And there is a message board where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
I'd like to extend a big Hollywood how do you do to the latest award winner, Sam Rockwellston, who won the award for Best Actor Who Supports Another One in his hot hit movie, Look Out for the Billboards. They're everywhere. He's the big winner.
I think this episode has had more Sam Raimi than
Oh, it's great. It's my favorite episode ever.
It's the best.
Every extend Sam Raimi.
The Hollywood Award for Best Animated Picture goes to The Boss Is the Baby. It's the latest. The latest hit film starring Alex Baldwin and Bruce Campbell in the stunning dual role of the boss and the baby boss.
All right.
If you'd like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by going to the Apple Podcast application, and you'll find a link to subscribe. You can also go to the App Store and drop a mere $1.99.
Cheap.
To pick up the Player One Podcast iPhone application. It gives you one-touch communication with us via the emails, the Twitters, and all the other things you have. It's great. And hey, Android telephone users, not going to happen anytime soon. The Player One Podcast iPhone application is available for your listening device as well for that same $1.99.
Also cheap.
You bet it is, Bruce. You can find that right over there at the Amazon Android Marketplace. We're also on Stitcher Radio. You can like us on Facebook. You can check us out live, coming at you every week on the youtubes.com/P1 Podcast. You also have episodes of our past performances that you could watch as well. And if you've liked what you've heard, and how could you not? This is gold, baby. Pure Hollywood gold.
Oh my God.
You can head over to patreon.com/P1 Podcasts, and you can donate all sorts of money to us. It doesn't get you anything.
You know what?
What?
We have made our goal of over $400
Oh my goodness.
a month. So that means
what?
Review is coming back.
It's the return of Review, starring Bruce Campbell in the stunning dual role of Christopher C.J. Johnston and Greg the Big Stu Stewart. What game will they be reviewing next? Let's hope it's a good one. Which game are you going to review, folks?
I don't know.
You don't even know.
No.
You better stop planning. These people paid for it.
True.
You have no idea how much spit is getting on my monitor right now. But it's a lot.
You can barely read your notes.
I'm going to have to get a squeegee after this is done. And if you have a couple bucks left over, head over to generation-16.com where you'll find the Patreon link to help support Greg Stewart's fantastic internet webular series about North America's favorite second banana, the Sega Genesis.
Thanks, Sam.
Hey, no problem. Anything to help out my pal Greg. Yeesh. I'm getting a little lightheaded. But I'm really dedicated to this bit.
Now you got to finish it out.
CJ.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Raimi.
Thank you so much for inviting me here.
Thank you, Mr. Raimi.
You should thank me. I'm backstage at the Hollywood Awards waiting to go out and present an award. But I took time out just for you.
Well, thank you.
Regular.
Yo.
Regular.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sam.
You know, I didn't want to tell you this, let me give you an elevator pitch. I'm thinking of rebooting the Spider Attack series, and I want you to play the Green Goblins.
Me?
All of them. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we'll use computer graphic CGs to make you into a hideous beast from beyond the stars.
You save some budget.
This is going to be fantastic. Just you wait.
Thanks.
We have Bruce Campbell lined up to play Peter Parker, the spectacular Amazo Man from Spiderville.
Let's say goodbye to the people, Sam.
I don't know. Oh my goodness, I've got the gong. And that means, folks, it's time to go. I hope you enjoyed yourself this week with this Switch-tacular show, and we hope you'll join us next week as well. Until then, may Hollywood live in your hearts and souls be your stars. Look forward and upwards, and may tomorrow be brighter than today. Goodbye.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Gonna be my eulogy.